Hi, I'm Hub Arkush for Pro Football Weekly, here to preview our NFL Game of the Week for Week 9. I'm joined by senior editor Eric Edholm, who covers the NFC East and the New York Giants for us, who will be hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Senior editor Mike Wilkening covers the AFC North and the Steelers. And Wilkie, Steelers, a better football team the last couple of weeks, seem to be starting to look like what we expected them to be all along.
They're starting to get into good form, and I think defensively they've taken a step forward. That's been a big key for them. I really think the turning point for this team, the second half of that Cincinnati game, they really got it together. And another thing you've got to keep in mind with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they weren't able to run the ball early this season, and now they've picked that up the last couple games. Jonathan Dwyer has really helped that running game out. They've been, getting plenty of space for him to run too. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't been sacked much this season. On pace to be sacked only 30 times this season. That's like touch football for him. So they're starting to get good at just the right time, with Baltimore faltering at the top of that division.
Eric, the Giants will be favored at home because they're the defending world champions, because they've played very well. One thing I do wonder about, though, I thought Eli Manning was an MVP candidate until 2 weeks ago. Now, they've won the last two, but he has not looked as good as he did early in getting it done.
Everyone will remember the good finishes in both games against the Redskins and Cowboys, but until that 77-yard throw to Victor Cruz, he'd been struggling. Those two hadn't been connecting all game, and then same thing happened on Sunday. I thought those Cowboys corners really got the best of the Giants wide receivers, so it's going to be a fascinating matchup from that regard. You look at the Steelers and what they do defensively, ranked number one in the NFL, and third downs are a problem. I think that's going to be one of the keys to the game. Steelers excellent offensively on third down. Giants last couple of weeks not so good.
Mike, the Steelers have been impressive the last couple of weeks over the Redskins, over the Bengals. Now they're taking a step up in class, and I think a lot of people still wonder, with the injuries, with some of the veteran departures this past offseason, is this Steeler team capable of being as good as they've been the last couple of years?
Well, I think that's the big question. Again, the idea of jumping up in class is huge here, because we have seen this team look good statistically, but then in practice, in terms of executing against top caliber defenses, we've seen them struggle before. And I think really this is a case stopping Eli Manning, getting off the field in those type of situations could be difficult for this group. Troy Polamalu is out with a calf injury. I think that's something to keep an eye on going forward with him in terms of his availability. Yeah, this is a huge test for this Pittsburgh defense.
And conversely, Eric, I look at the New York Giants, the World Series champion.
That's right.
I look at the New York Giants and I see that front seven and I say, what Jonathan Dwyer and the Steelers are doing good shouldn't be a problem for the Giants. But that said, this defense has weeks where they just don't play up to their ability.
Statistically, the Giants rank in the bottom third of the NFL in a lot of defensive categories, including against the run. And you look at what the Steelers have done the last 2 weeks, and you think maybe they've got a full stable of running backs. They could have three guys to choose from this week. And I might say that those Giants linebackers who aren't great at stopping the run could be a problem this season. So that defensive line has to take advantage of what I think is a good but not great, certainly improving, but not a great Steelers offense.
All right, Mike, one last matchup. Now, these may be the two best coaches in the NFL. Mike Tomlin for the Steelers, Tom Coughlin for the Giants. Do you see an edge here for Tomlin in any way?
I don't really, other than I believe that the consistency of a Dick LeBeau defense is something that you can kind of key on game in and game out. And the Giants don't see the Steelers that often, so I tend to think that that is maybe one slight edge. And there's another thing that's going on here that's interesting about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe they're getting in tune with Todd Haley's offense. We're really seeing some good things out of that running game. Again, the pass protection. Ben Roethlisberger is playing at a high level, so maybe this offense is getting into stride too.
And I think with that second Super Bowl ring, we may have finally seen the end of the Week 9 annual Fire Tom Coughlin, thing that we get every year.
The only thing left to debate is the 2004 NFL Draft. Who's the better quarterback to come out, Eli or Ben?
All right, guys, prediction time. We've got the game of the week. You've got the home team. We'll let you go with the Giants first.
And I'm picking them. I just think the home field advantage will be big. And like Wilkie said, when the Steelers have had to step up, they haven't been quite as good.
I think the Steelers are in top form right now. I think they pull off the upset. I really think this is something that's within their scope. The Giants, to me, at home sometimes can have their problems. I think Pittsburgh steps up, gets a signature win.
I'm going to stay with the Giants because every time I change my mind midweek, I've been wrong all year long. But I do agree the Steelers are looking interesting. The Giants at home, defending world champs, though, they should be the winner in this one. We shall see. That's why they play the game. That does it for our preview of the game of the week this week. For all the best in news, notes, and analysis, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, make sure you stay right where we are at ProFootballWeekly.com.